Okay, so the last session we have studied about React.js, what is the folder structure, what is the public.html. So just I will brief through one more time, okay? So whenever you create a project means how to create a project. So creating a project is npx create react app your file name, anything your file name abc or xyz or your name or anything, but only condition is you cannot make a something inbuilt component like that react. It should not be a file of react or like a component or something like that. So and you cannot mention the numbers or special character to the file name, except other than you can do anything. Okay, the npm react react app. Okay, so here what happens, so now we are going to be uh, discuss about the functional component and class component. And before that, what is a component? So component is nothing but it is a piece of a code, that's it. Okay, so here one component. So hello world is, this is a one component. What exactly component? So component is a JavaScript function. So we are going to be write a specific functionality. So that is we know this one. Okay. Then we have discussed about there are two types of components. That is one is a class component and one a functional component. So in that we are going to be, we have discussed about two examples, the class counter and a functional counter. So first we'll go for the class counter. So what is a class counter? So class counter is a JavaScript React component. So it is a started with a class and a extend with a component. What is a component? This is the component from the React. Okay. So now, so why we have to go for the class component and functional component in the sense? See, earlier 16 point. Okay, just we'll search here. So just when functional component component introduced in React. Okay, yeah. Functional component are a type of a React component that are used to JavaScript to define the structure of the component output. They were introduced in a React 16.8. See, before earlier they are using a functional component, sorry, class component. Then they have introduced a functional component. Okay, so first we'll see the class component function. The class counter and component. This is the constructor. So we already discussed when the in the React JavaScript also when we create a file in a React.js or a class in a JavaScript. So automatically the constructor has to be defined. Okay, so that is we already know. So the same thing if we have created a constructor and we have initialized a state this dot state dot counter 0. So initial count will be 0. So that's why. So we have enclosed with the where the flower bracket. What is the flower bracket? It is act as a value, not as a statement. Okay. Uh, so this dot state dot count means what? So initial count is 0. So that's why it is going to be print. So how to print this one? So once the tag is npm start. So once I click npm start, so automatically it is going to be open the code. So how the code flow is there? Once click npm start, it is coming for the package.json. From here start, it is going to be start the React script. From here, it is going for the React library and it is going to be start the project. From there, it is going to become for the index.js. From the index.js, it is going to be create a root element. So where it is that root element in the public.html, we already seen. So there it is going to be import a app component. So inside app component, which is we imported. So earlier we are using a class component, functional component, everything. So automatically it is going to be open with a localhost 3000. So by default it is going to be run a localhost thing. Okay, we are discussing about the class counter, right? So just I want to uh, comment this one for functional component. I will uncomment this one, control forward slash. So just here also control function word comment and What is this one? My class counter. Where is the class counter? Okay, just I want to add here. If you want to class counter forward slash. So this is called a forward slash means ending the component. Okay. So if you go here, see there, increment and a decrement is happening. So just we have a visualizing the data. If you hold a control and mouse over, automatically if you click means it's going to be come here. So this is the on click event for a increment, on click event, decrement. So once I click on increment, it is going to be rise the or a event will be raised on click event. So then it is going to be called the increment. Okay, from the increment, this dot set state. So this is the state. The set state is going to be set the value. So what is the count? Count is a variable. So what is the value? So this dot state dot count. So that is a 0. So this dot state dot count is 0. This dot date dot count is 0. 0 plus 1, 1 is added to the count. So like that, it is going to be added. So again, if you click means it is coming here, this dot set count. So count variable it is containing 1. So this dot state dot count is what? Now 1. So then increment by 1. 1 plus 1, 2. So that is a 2 is stored into the state variable. So this dot state dot 2 now. So like that it is going to be increment. Same thing, this is increment, this is the decrement. That's it. So this is about a class component. So then, okay, which one we need to go prefer? So now after 16.8 React, they are using a fully functional component only. For just for knowledge purpose, I am explaining you. So then we are going for the functional component. I am going to be commented. So counter functionality forward slash save it. So we need to import this one as well. Comment it and uncommented. Save it. We'll go here. See here. This is a functional component and this is also working the same thing. So this is the counter functional component. See here how less code it is. So we are maintaining a state. So this is a use state is a hook. You no need to worry. Just understand that this is a variable. We are going to be set an method or set a set method. Okay. We are going to be discuss more on that one. So there is a hooks concept will come. So that is a 16.8 React.js. They have introduced a hooks. So that is a functional component. Okay. So initially count is 0. Sorry, count I have set to the 10 here. Okay, counter functional. So I think, yeah, click here. Okay, it is running. See, if I reload means it is the initial value is 10. Why? Because so I have initiated a 10, so that 10 variable is sitting here. Okay, so how to create a function component? So that is a counter functional component. So this is the open close bracket. So constant, the count variable set count is a method. So use state is hook. Initially value is 10, so that is a 10 is assigned here. Okay, so this is a increment functionality. This is a decrement functionality we will call. Okay, so when I click on click event, then on click increment method will be called. In the increment, the set count is a method. So what is the count variable value? So actually 10. So 10 plus 1, 11. So same here, if I do increment 11. So again, if you click means now the count value is 11, 11 plus 1, 12. So if you click here, 12. Okay, so this is for the on click event. See the count variable initially 10 is there, so that is a it is displaying the value open close bracket, and decrement is what? So when you call the on click on decrement, so set count -1. This is not a plus. Save it or run it. Decrement. Okay, so this is how it will work a class component and a function component. Okay, so now I think So we have seen the how to manage the states and everything. Okay, so this is called a state. What is a state? The data we are maintaining, this is the count variable state. So this is a state. State means what? So it is a holding the some value. Okay. So this state can be passed to another component. Okay. So this is the state is there. Okay. This is the count. Okay. First we'll understanding states and the props. Now the next topic is props. What is a props in sense? So we know about a state. State means it is a information. So that information we are going to be passed as a props. Okay. First we'll understand the state and props. Okay. So this flowchart I will take it. In this flowchart, so I want to draw states and the props. The first what I will do, just a minute. Okay, so let delete all those things. Okay, so I have a component. Okay, this is the my one component. So this component I want to. So this component is having a some state. What is a state? Something first name or a last name and a password. So this is the state information. So when I want to transfer from the here to here, okay, from 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 the state to the here. So here what happens? This is a state and we are taking as in a props. Got it? So we got to know what is the states and the props. Okay. The state is a information. It contains a state value. So that state value we are passing as an props. Got it? So this is called a state and a sending to the another component as a props. So what is this one? This is the a component, something called a let's say a component A, and here is a component B. Okay. So component A is containing the state. That state we are going to be passed as a process to the component B. Okay, got it. So this is how it will work. The component A, component B. So this is the state we are passing to the another functional component as an a props. So for that we are going to be discuss about a one example. So what is a functional component and what is a class component? So first we'll go with a class component. Okay. So how to create a class component? So just I want to close here and I will close this one too. So we are dealing with only app.js. But when you click when you write a command npm start, then it is coming for the package of JSON. From it is going to be start a React script start. From here it is going for the React where it is a React it contains in the contents it is a node module folder. So there it is going to be start the next process is it is going to be called the index.js. From it is going to be create a DOM. So React itself it is going to be create a virtual DOM. So we know the already one DOM here we know. So that is right. If you rightly do inspect. So what is that DOM? So when we create a something or when you run a program in the browser, automatically DOM is created. So that is we know. So what is a virtual DOM? So React itself it is going to be create a one more DOM. So there it is a React DOM. So that DOM it is going to be open in the display with the ID in the index.html where it is as a div ID root. Okay, so then again it is going to be fetch the the heart of the React components or React file. So here it is the exact file. So just if you don't want to remove all those things. So just remove like this. If you do comment means it is there but it is a disabled or a no use, so this is a disabled. Okay, so now save it. So now my program is running this one. So now we are going with the one more component, that is a we are passing a props as an a data. Okay, so how to pass as a props data? The first we are going to be create a class component. Okay, so let here I want to create a 1 minute with the component. I want to create a one folder. What is that folder? PROFS, props. Inside a props, so that is a something called a what is the file name? Something a professor list dot, sorry, professor list class dot JSX. Okay, so then I want to import a React class. So let's close all those things. So what we are discussing, we are going to be pass the data as a props. Okay, so just import React, and we are going to be create a functional component. So that's why we need to call the component like this. Okay, okay, so just if you want to remove, you can remove this one. Sorry. Okay, so we have imported a component and we have imported a React. So now we are going to be create a class. What is the class? The class name should be class. What is this one? Profess. What is this one? So I think I have written a wrong name. Professor Professor list class JSX. Okay, so there is a one shortcut key is there. So React class component export. Sorry, yeah, React class component. So automatically it will come. So for initially I don't want to do so short keys. For one for 2 3 days I will use a direct. So import, so bracket React comma component. So component from where? React. Okay, so now the class professor list. Okay, just make it as a professor list, and from extends. So if you not imported a React component, so you can directly, if you not, let's say if you not imported this one, the component in the React. Okay, so you can call directly React component. If you imported a component here, so you need to add a component here. Okay, so then close it. So then what we have to do? We have to do the next thing we have to do is we have to call the render method. render, open close bracket. So we have created a render. So then first what we have to do, we have to do with the, we have to create the props list here. So now I want to create a one list. So what is that list? So constant professor equals to, I want to create a one a JSON data, sorry, JSON array data, array JSON object. Okay, so just click here. So what is the data? So ID equals to 1, add a name colon, what is this one, something called a Virat. Okay, the next, sorry, not equals to here, a colon, the name ID equals to 1, name equals to Virat, and department colon CSE or a computer science engineering. Okay, so this is one a JSON object. So like that, so I can create a copy, control V, control V. So the second name will be ID2, the name will be Sevag, and ECE, something like that. And ID will be 3, and name equals to Gambhir, and department will be something something like that, mechanical. Okay, so let's say this is a professor list. So then this list I want to pass as the props. Okay, so now what I have to do? So I want to create a one more div inside here. Div, enter. So now what I want to do? I want to create a one h1 tag. The professor list. Okay, so now what I will do? I want to display this list means I done a little mistake here. I need to made a comma here. So that's why it is showing. Okay. So if I want to display the list, what is the options? We are using the unordered list UL tag. I think everybody know. So inside a UL, so I want to take a open close expression. So professors dot map. So what is the map we have discussed earlier here? So the map is a one thing that is going to be, sorry, 1 minute. So enter. So here what we are going to do? So we are going to be pass the professor to the, I will take a professor, one more m variable. See, this is the professors is there, this is the professor is there. If you want to make a x, you can make it x. So in the professor, inside a this one, open close brace. So this is not a, we are using the one more thing called, this is the not a floor bracket, and we are going to be pass the, what is the item, the list item we are going to be pass here. Okay, so li is there. So what is the data we are going to be pass? So we want to do professor name and professor department. So how to do this one? I want to make a professor dot name. Okay, so this is going to be display the professor name, and one more thing, the professors. See this professor I need to take. See, always you have to be good at vocabulary. Others I am doing a mistake, so you are also same thing we are doing a mistake. Okay, so department. So professors is an array. So this professor is a temporary variable which contains the ID, name, department. From where? So this is the professor array. So then professor dot name and professor dot department. Okay, so now it is going to be print this is the data. So where I want to print in the if you want to print here means we need to import that component. So here professor uh, professor list class forward slash close it, save it. So now it is throwing an error. What is this one? Line number create. Okay, let's remove this one. Now what is this one? The professor is not defined. Yes. So import. So professor list class. Control C, Control V from where dot forward slash inside a component forward slash. So what is the component? So that is the props, and here we are professional list class is there. Okay, so we have imported. Again, it is throwing an error in the app.ins. Export default imported as a professional list, but it is not exported. Okay, so this is model not exported. So for that, so we are going here export default. What is this component name? So this component name we need to add here. Save it. So now, okay, so it is throwing an error. Your render method should have a return statement. Yes, we had done a little bit mistake here. Inside a render, we need to enclose within it the return. Control X. We are going to be add a return. Inside a return, again there is a one more close bracket, close bracket. Then we need to add a here. Save it. Okay, now it's running from here. So it is going to be load the professional component. So let's see what is the output. So see here, Virat CSA Seva Gambhir. So if you want to make a little bit visually it's good. So just I will control X. I will make a one thing called a strong. What is a strong? It will do. It will make a little bit bold. That's it. See here, Virat CSC Seva CC Gambhir Mac. Okay. So if I want to make the list display style none, how to do? So I need to call a style list style type colon none. Save it. Uh, See here. So how to write an inline style in the sensor? Style within a double bracket. So list style type none we need to define. So here strong it is there. So let understand the program here. The first what happens once you do npm start, it is going to become for the app.js. From here it is going for the professor list class. So it is going to be fetching from where? So here it is control mouse over means it is going to be come here. So just hold a control mouse over, then click here, automatically it is going to come here. Okay, so here what happened here? So we are going to be pass the props, sorry, this state information as a props. Okay, so here what happened here? I have one data here. So array data. So this is the name, ID, name, uh, department like that. Let's say this is a student information. Instead of this one, I will going to control C. Okay, so I want to take a control C to control F. So I want to make a student. Okay, students I will make a students. Then here I will make a student. Okay, student. These three students are there. So this is the student list is there. Okay, so professor list to the student list. Okay, the student list. So how it is showing this here, the student first I have taken an array. Okay, so this is my array. So inside array we have a 1 2 3. So these three arrays there, the profession. So then we are going to be called the from the student array in the map. What is the map? So map is in a data structure. It is going to be looped through an element. So then it is not going to be take a duplicate element. So we already know this one. So map students. So what is a student? So it is going to be dump the first data here, student, in the student object. So list is list style none is there. Then student dot name. So student dot name is a without. So then what is the ID? So if you see here, if you do Control Shift I, see run it, will run here. See, you are seeing the match. Each child should be having a unique key prop. So how to pass a unique key prop? So there we are going to be pass as in a key equals to a student dot ID. Save it, run it. Yeah, we did a mistake. A key and professor dot ID. So student dot ID. So where we have done a mistake. So error st is not defined. Where is this one? Student. So key is here. Okay, let remove for a while this style. Save it. Run it. Yeah. So now you are not finding an error here. Why? Because so we are going to be passing the student ID as also a props. So if I just remove this one, save it. It is asking a say each child in the list should have a unique key prop. So that's why. So how to do the key equals to student dot id we should pass here. So got it. So this is how we are going to be pass. If you do run here, it is not throwing an error. So then how to do this one? So if you want to do, you can pass the class name and a pass as a props. You can do like this. So you can define the class name and you can pass like this. So strong. So what we got to know in the sense, we are going to be this student list passing as an props to in the a child component. So that is a professor list or a student list. So now, so this is like that you can pass a n number of student here. So we are going to be pass a n number of student. Save it, run it. So yeah, it is a duplicate is there, so that's why it is throwing an error. So not duplicate, so we need to manage, sorry, save it, run it. So again it is throwing an error. See, it is the key should be unique so that the component maintain the identity across. It is throwing an error. Why? Because so the one will be repeating here. So one is repeating two times, so that's why it is throwing an error. Okay, so we need to fix this one. To fix this one, we need to comment here. Sorry, open it, save it, or run it. So if you do here, reload. So now there is a no errors. Okay, so what we have done? So we have done passing the data in the form of props. So with respect to the class component. Okay, so now what we are going to do? we are going to be discussing passing the props data as an with respect to the functional component. Okay, so for that I want to go here. What is this one? I will make a, instead of props professor, I will make a student list function dot JSX. So for that import React from React. So now I have imported a React. See, before importing a React, just use the JavaScript file it is. So now before that I want to function. What is the class name I need to create? That is a student, sorry, student list, something like that. Open close brace like this. Okay, so here what we are going to do, we are okay. First, we'll define the student list. How to list display the student list? The constant stu students equals to flower bracket, because we have a multiple JSON object. The first one will be ID. So same thing I will copy here. Okay, this all these students with respect to class. Now we are with respect to the control V. Okay, save it. So now what I have to do, I want to pass in the props as a data. So this is the state data passing as a props. Okay, so now what I have to do, I want to call the, what we have to call, once a function is called, then we need to call the return method. So here it is a no render method. Okay, return open close brace. Inside of return we are going to be write our classes. So I have taken a one div. So inside a div we want to pass the h1, the student list. Okay, so I have defined a student list. So then I want to pass the list, right? So I have taken a unordered list. Okay, so here I want to go through it a data. So what is the data? The students is in a data dot map of. So again inside a map I want to take one more. So that is a temporary variable stud student. Okay, so here student. So then again what we have to do, we are going to be called the list item. So that is the li. So this is not a flower bracket. Once again this is the round bracket. Okay, sorry. So here inside a what we can say bracket, we are going to be called the li, a list item. Inside a list item I want to make a one more strong. So what is that one? Open close brace, student dot name hyphen open close bracket student dot department. Okay, save it. So now what I want to do, I want to remove this one. So save it. So what is happening here, once my component is loaded, okay, first we will run and execute, then we'll go for the flow, student strong and everything. Okay, the student list is here. Student list functional component. Okay, so save it. 1 minute. Okay, sorry. So here I have defined a component. So I need to do one more thing is that is a export default. What is the component name? There's the uh, student list. Control V. So then I have created my component, but we have not added in the still app.js. So how to add? So I will comment it. Okay, or else let it be. I will add a one more component. So that is the first I will import a component. Import student list. See where it is from the component props folder. See from the component folder from the props folder. So there is a student list function we have imported a student link function. So how we'll get to know whether it is imported properly or not? Hold a control and mouse over. So then click here. So if it is an opening profile, then it is correct. What if I do mistake? Instead of functions, I will make a something functions. Save it. So if you go here, control, it is not like highlighting. Why? Because so we are wrongly imported. So just I will remove that. S, save it. So just control mouse over. So if you click means it has to be open. Then it is going to be import properly. So this is the student list component is there. So then a student list / save it. So just I want to go here the browser. See the student list for the class component. So just I want to add a student list by class component. Okay. Now the student list by the class component and student list by function. It is showing an error. Each child in the list should be a unique key. So in the class functional component, we have done we need to add a one more thing called so that is called a key equals to student dot id. Save it or run it or reload it. So then you are not going to be find any error here. So this is a class component and this is the functional component. Okay, so how the data, how the flow is starting. So when you run here, so then it is going to become here. The first stage is going to be load a professor list component. So where is this one? Here it is I imported from where it is the in the component folder props professor list. What it contains? It is containing a students array. From the student array, it is taking this many data, and this is we have created a professor list or so I will make this one also student list. Okay, let it be. So I make a file name as in the professor list. Then individually we have make a student array student dot map student. So I'm going to be done for first element. So that is the id name department. So I want to list it key student dot id student dot name student dot department. Okay, so this is how it is going to work. So then once it is completed, then it is going for the student function. Same thing. We are going to be map student dot map student ID and a name. So inside a list like this. So then we are going for the same thing student list function. So here we have used a class component and here we are using a function component. Okay, so the student list functional component students dot map of student li key equals to student dot id and student dot name student dot department. Okay, so this is called a passing the props as a data. So what is this one? This is the data we are going to be passing as a props here. So see here in the props. Okay, so this is called a passing the data as a props. Okay, so I think you have understood the concept. What is the state and what is the props and how to iterate the element with the UL tag and when how to call the map object. So this is and all I think you have learned. Okay, so this is a states and the props we have learned, and tomorrow we are going to be learn destructuring props and events, event binding, and method of the props and conditional rendering and a list render. So tomorrow we are going to be complete a list rendering, conditional rendering, methods of the props, event binding, event handling, destructuring. The fourth example we are going to be clear. See, till now we have discussed about the introduction